What if Toshiro Mifune was in Star Wars? Toshiro Mifune was a legendary Japanese actor best known for his powerful collaborations with director Akira Kurosawa during the golden age of Japanese live-action cinema. Over a career spanning more than 4 decades, he appeared in more than 150 films, bringing intensity and charisma to iconic roles such as in Rashomon in 1950, The Seven Samurai in 1954, and Yojimbo in 1961. Mifune's commanding presence on screen and versatility made him one of Japan's most internationally acclaimed film stars and a defining figure of 20th century cinema. In the 60s, the film group, then later named in the 70s New World Pictures, under the leadership of Roger Corman, played a key role in bringing Akira Kurosawa's films to American audiences. And with films like the aforementioned Rashomon, Seven Samurai, and Yojimbo, Kurosawa's work was introduced to future filmmakers, and reshaping the landscape of global cinema. So his innovative use of narrative structure, character archetypes, and cinematic techniques such as the long takes, the dynamic action sequences where there were action in the foreground, midground, and background, had a profound impact on Hollywood, inspiring directors like Martin Scorsese, Francis Ford Coppola, and George Lucas, who incorporated elements of Kurosawa's style into their own films. So, Kurosawa's films had a major influence on Star Wars, as we just mentioned with Lucas. So Lucas drew inspiration from Kurosawa's The Hidden Fortress in 1958. So particularly its story told through the perspective of 2 lowly characters mirrored by R2-D2 and C-3PO in the Star Wars films. So Kurosawa's use of the samurai codes, visual composition, and mythic storytelling also shaped Star Wars Jedi, the lightsaber duels, and the cinematic style, blending Japanese samurai tradition with Western science fiction and comic book tradition. So, according to The Guardian, and Kurosawa's daughter, according to The Guardian and Toshiro Mifune's daughter, George Lucas reportedly offered Mifune roles in Star Wars, first as Obi-Wan Kenobi and later as Darth Vader. Mifune declined both, fearing that the film's heavy use of special effects and science fiction elements might appear cheap and undermine the dignity of the samurai image he was known for. He respected Lucas's vision, well, according to his daughter now, but felt that Star Wars could trivialize the warrior archetype central to his career and work with Kurosawa. So now what if Toshiro Mifune had joined the cast of Star Wars? What if George Lucas had been able to convince him that his homage to the work of Kurosawa was indeed going to continue the dignity of the samurai image that he had created? Well, okay, considering that Star Wars was a film famously saved in the edit, I'm not sure that Mifune would have had a good time with Lucas on set, and may have clashed with the director over the story and its depiction of the samurai. Now, Mifune was a dynamic performer, even in films like High and Low, where he just plays a lowly office worker, there's something electric about him, which is a little bit different, in my opinion, from the more kindly uncle / mentor with promises of adventure we got from Alec Guinness's portrayal, which I think makes what happens at the end a lot more exciting when you see the battle between the old friends, Darth Vader and Obi-Wan Kenobi, at the end of Star Wars, the first Star Wars. Now, as a call to adventure, Mifune could have pulled off this mysterious man in the desert with stories of adventure with Luke Skywalker's father, but it definitely would have had a different edge to it, and maybe a slightly dangerous edge to it. And I think that would have been really cool. I've just got to say, not to discount what Alec Guinness did with the role. His portrayal is so iconic. Obviously, it goes without saying. I'm just saying what Mifune could have done with that particular role. I'm not sure if he would have been as interesting in as Darth Vader, because so much of what he did was with his face and the intensity of his eyes. Like, you really only got a little bit of Darth Vader's face right at the end of the third film. So I'm not quite sure how that would have gone. And, obviously, James Earl Jones, his voice is so iconic. It's incredible. So now, let's say he did the film and, it was, a major success. In terms of Mifune's career, I think it's interesting to note that Alex Guinness, while he continued to work on prestige projects like A Passage to India, he became forever associated with the role of Obi-Wan Kenobi. And likely this would have happened to Mifune as well. Both actors were legends before Star Wars, and Star Wars completely overshadowed their roles. So in Alec Guinness's case, he had roles in The Bridge on the River Kwai and Lawrence of Arabia, like incredible pieces of cinema, on the same level as the likes of Rashomon and the other films we've been talking about. So I do think that the role really becomes the cherry on top of an already illustrious career, rather than igniting their careers in new and exciting directions. I don't think it would have. I don't think Mifune would have taken on different roles than he would have had he done the movie. What I believe the true legacy of Mifune playing the role of Obi-Wan Kenobi, or perhaps Darth Vader, would be is lifting the career of a young Japanese actor to the world stage. Perhaps he would have fought for Eiji Kusuhara, who played the character now this is hard to pronounce, Gureni Telsiji in The Return of the Jedi. Okay, I've definitely got that wrong, but he was one of the fighter jets, and he does have a single line of dialogue, but he wasn't included in the end credits, which in a lot of Golden Age films, the end credits really only included the major players. They didn't really include people with, one or two lines, the bit players. So perhaps, he would have fought for him to have more than a single line of dialogue. Look, as it stands, it wasn't until Donnie Yen in Rogue One and Kelly Marie Tran in The Last Jedi in 2016 and 2017 respectively, where any actor of Asian heritage had a major role in Star Wars. Ironic, when the series is so heavily inspired by the work of Kurosawa. Now, it would have meant a major role for a Japanese actor in the prequels because it's the same character. Now, the actor I believe they might have chosen is Hiroyuki Sanada. Now, Sanada is a huge star now, but back in the late 90s, he was an up-and-coming actor on the rise who he was starring in the first two Ring movies, so the original Japanese horror films that were later remade in America and became big hits internationally. Very, very scary films. So I think, like, as you can see with him in Shogun now, I think he has a similar power to Mifune. And so while Sanda has played in a number of Hollywood productions, so like The Last Samurai, Sunshine, I do feel like he would have become this big global international star, winning awards like he is now. I would think he could have been a star much earlier. And then who knows what would have happened. I think the projects he made in Hollywood, like Sunshine, may have been lifted by his new star power. And, more people could be angry by the ending of Sunshine. But, so, what do you think would have happened if Toshiro Mifune had played a role in Star Wars? Do you think it would have had the ripple effect like I believe? Or do you think, maybe something like, if you think of like Bruce Lee was already having a bit of a ripple effect, would it have just added to what Bruce Lee was doing? Or would it have become this huge phenomenon, which lifting the dreams and roles of young Asian American actors in Hollywood? Now, what do you think? Let's discuss in the comments down below. I'll respond to all of them, even if it goes viral and lots of people watch it, or even if no one watches it except one or two. I'm going to respond to your comments. So thank you for watching. Thank you in advance for commenting. If you do like this video, please like and subscribe for more videos about the golden age of film in the 20th century, plus some of my own films which star Asian actors like An American Piano. Thank you so much. Which, by the way, was one of the crew was a relative of Akira Kurosawa in An American Piano. One of the guys on the, I forgot what his role was. I think he might have been the gaffer. But anyway, thank you so much.